At 90, Julie Andrews finally chose to speak more openly about her connection with Dick Van Dyke, and the timing caught many people off guard. It happened during a special television tribute celebrating his 98th birthday, a moment designed to honor his legendary career. What stood out was not just the celebration itself, but the depth of feeling behind Andrews' words. For decades, their bond had existed quietly in the background, rarely explained in detail. Now, hearing her reflect on their shared past gave fans a rare glimpse into something that had never really faded. The laughter people remember from their performances was not just acting. It came from something genuine that had been built early on and carried forward across years, distance, and completely different lives in the entertainment world. The tribute event itself was carefully planned as a surprise, with Van Dyke believing he was simply attending a routine appearance. Instead, it turned into a full celebration of his life and work, filled with messages from people who admired him. Among them, Andrews' contribution stood out because it felt deeply personal rather than ceremonial. She spoke about moments that had shaped their partnership, including how naturally they connected from the very beginning. Despite living in different countries for years, the two maintained a quiet tradition of supporting each other during major milestones. Whenever one of them was honored, the other would send a message. It was not a grand gesture, but it showed consistency. Their bond did not rely on constant contact. It survived because both valued it enough to keep it alive. Their story goes all the way back to the early 1960s, when filming began on a project that would define both of their careers. For Andrews, stepping onto that set was overwhelming in ways most people do not fully appreciate. She had just become a mother weeks earlier and was entering the world of film for the first time. Everything about the experience was new and demanding. There was no time to adjust slowly. She had to prepare physically, rehearse extensively, and deliver a performance strong enough to carry a major production. Under those circumstances, having the right co-star mattered more than ever. What she found was someone who did not add pressure but instead helped ease it, turning what could have been a stressful experience into something far more manageable. Van Dyke brought an energy that immediately changed the atmosphere on set. Andrews described him as kind, patient, and genuinely helpful, which made a lasting impression during a vulnerable moment in her life. He was already experienced with the rehearsal process, especially when it came to choreography, and he approached it with enthusiasm rather than intensity. Watching him work was entertaining in itself. He fully committed to every movement, even when it involved exaggerated or playful actions. That level of commitment created a sense of freedom for everyone around him. Instead of worrying about perfection, the focus shifted to enjoying the process. For Andrews, who was still finding her confidence in film, that environment made all the difference and helped her settle into the role more naturally. One of the most memorable aspects of their collaboration came during musical rehearsals. Andrews had a strong vocal range, while Van Dyke sometimes struggled to match it. These moments could have easily led to frustration, but instead they became opportunities for collaboration. She offered simple guidance, encouraging him to aim higher mentally when reaching certain notes. It was not about criticism but support. At the same time, Van Dyke's willingness to keep trying showed his dedication. Their interactions during these sessions revealed something important about their dynamic. Neither was trying to outshine the other. Instead, they worked together to improve the final result. That sense of teamwork translated directly into their performances, making their on-screen chemistry feel effortless and real to audiences. The famous dance sequences became a turning point in how their partnership was perceived. Andrews approached choreography with precision and elegance, while Van Dyke brought unpredictability and humor. When they practiced together, those differences created moments of genuine laughter. One particular routine stood out because of how unexpected it felt. His exaggerated movements caught her off guard, leading to spontaneous reactions that were never forced. That authenticity became part of what audiences later connected with. It was not just about technical skill but emotional truth. Their ability to enjoy the moment made the scenes feel alive in a way that scripted performances often do not achieve. What people saw on screen was the result of real trust and comfort built during those early rehearsals. What set Van Dyke apart from many other performers was not just his talent, but how he used it. He had studied classic physical comedy and developed his own style that felt completely original. His movements were expressive enough to tell a story without relying on dialogue. More importantly, he had a natural instinct to include others in the experience. Rather than performing at people, he performed with them, creating a sense of shared joy. Andrews recognized this as something rare. She compared it to a quality seen in only a few performers who could reach audiences on a deeper level. This ability made his presence on set uplifting, not just for viewers but for everyone working alongside him during production. Their professional paths eventually diverged, and opportunities to reunite on screen did not materialize as often as fans might have hoped. At one point, there was even a chance for them to work together again, but it did not happen due to different career choices at the time. Despite that, their connection remained intact. Over the years, they appeared together occasionally at events, always showing the same warmth and familiarity. Conversations between them felt natural, as though no time had passed at all. This kind of lasting relationship is uncommon, especially in an industry where collaborations often fade once projects end. Their ability to maintain that bond without constant interaction speaks to the authenticity of what they built early on. As time went on, both continued to receive recognition for their contributions to entertainment. During major honors and tributes, they consistently showed up for each other in meaningful ways. Whether through appearances or recorded messages, the pattern remained the same. Each acknowledged the other's impact with sincerity rather than obligation. This mutual respect reinforced the idea that their partnership was never just about a single project. It represented something larger, a shared experience that shaped both of their careers and left a lasting impression on audiences. Even decades later, when reflecting on those early days, their words carried a sense of gratitude that had not diminished with time. Looking back, the story of their connection is not defined by dramatic moments or constant collaboration. Instead, it is built on consistency, respect, and genuine affection. From the early days of intense rehearsals to the quiet exchanges later in life, every stage of their relationship added another layer to its meaning. The laughter that audiences still remember was not created for the camera. It came from real moments shared between two people who enjoyed working together. That is why it continues to feel alive even now. Their bond serves as a reminder that sometimes the most lasting connections are the simplest ones, rooted in kindness, shared effort, and an understanding that does not need to be constantly explained.